Hi friends, happy Bookmas Day 3. Today's video is going to be my winter TBR. I'm so excited to go through all these books. I have a lot of fun ones on my TBR for the season of winter. Before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more Bookmas videos from me this month. And leave me a comment down below letting me know what is on your winter TBR. And we're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna split this up based on a couple categories. First one is library books. I just did a big library haul a couple weeks ago if you want to watch that video. So I'm gonna go through those, and I'm gonna go through the books I have on my shelf, and then I'm gonna go through the books that I have either on my Kindle or that I don't have yet but will purchase or get out of the library in the next few months. But the special category that I want to go through first is Christmas/holiday themed books. Let's start with the library books. I will be posting a video soon of me reading Christmas books for the week, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on that. I think with Christmas books, I'm not expecting a ton from them. I just want them to be like a fun time, and yeah, they're probably not going to be 5 stars, but I will enjoy reading them and they'll get me in the Christmas spirit. So first one I have is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. This was described as a Knives Out style mystery where the most famous mystery writer in the world disappears out of a locked room just a few days before Christmas, and I think these two people on the cover are gonna have to find this mystery writer. It's nice and short, so I think this one will be fun. I was looking for something that wasn't quite romance, so the rest of these pretty much are romances. The next one is A December to Remember, which is about 3 different half-sisters, and it looks like they're going on a little adventure because they're called back after not seeing each other for a while because their father passes away and they need to do some stuff to get what is left for them in the will. So I thought this one was also fun, not exactly romance, but I love a book about sisters. The next one is Royal Holiday by Jasmine Gilroy. This one looks like it's about a girl who goes on a work trip to England, which gives off very much like Netflix Christmas movie vibes, so I think this one will be fun. And the last one that I have from the library is The Santa Suit by Mary Kay Andrews, and I saw somebody recommend this on TikTok. It looks like the main character is trying to figure out the mystery of this Santa suit that comes with this new house she just bought. Another short and sweet book. Then also on my list, most of these are on Kindle Unlimited I think, but there are a couple that maybe have to put a hold on at the library. First one is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh, which I think is like an airport themed romance. I think they're stuck at an airport trying to get home and then they fall in love, which is like also very Netflix Hallmark Christmas movie vibes. The next one is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, which is about these twin sisters that in their adult life do a twin swap, which I used to love to read books like that as a kid, so I thought this one was fun. One of the main characters is a chef, which is also cool. The next one is called Small Things Like These. My partner just read this and recommended it to me. It's a pretty short book and it's about a small Irish town. It was apparently very sweet. The audiobook is only a couple hours, so I will definitely just have a little one sitting read of this book. Okay, the last two are Make the Season Bright, and this one is a queer Christmas romance, which it looks like it's a second chance romance, which is kind of fun. And then Love in Winter Wonderland. This is a YA Christmas story set in a bookstore. So I have lots of options. Not sure how many of them I'll read, but I feel like I am in the mood for some fun, silly books, and I feel like Christmas is the perfect time for that. Those are all of the Christmas themed books I have. I'm gonna go through the rest of my books that I have out of the library. Then I'll tell you the ones that I have already on my physical TBR. Okay, first one is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I have read The Guest List, so this is my like giving Lucy Foley a second chance because I didn't love that one, but this one is set during Christmas break. A group of friends get together for New Year's and something happens, and I've had this on my list for a little while. I think this is a perfect like cozy mystery. I love like a winter mystery. That's sort of what I'm looking for in my books this winter. Something where they're like snowed in. I love that. On the like mystery theme, the next book I have is In the Woods by Tana French, which is the first in the Dublin Murder Squad, Dublin Detective, I don't know, she has a whole series of these, and I have a couple of the other ones on my shelf, but I wanted to read the first one before I get into them. I don't think I have to read them in order, but I feel like reading the first one first would be good, you know? Then I have The Life We Bury, which is about a college student who's trying to complete a writing assignment for his English class, and this assignment is to interview a stranger and write a biography basically about his life. And so he finds this person in a nearby nursing home who ends up being a convicted murderer and also Vietnam veteran. So I think this book is sort of like going through his life. I don't think this one's necessarily mystery as much, but I think it's a little bit suspenseful, and it's a little bit different than what I normally read, but it sounds really good. I think I'm gonna enjoy this one. I kind of picked this one up on a whim because of the cover, but after reading the description, it sounds like something I would really enjoy. I think that's it for mysteries. Let's go into sort of like historical fiction. The first book I have on here is The Alice Network by Kate Quinn, who I've heard great things about. This looks like it's a dual timeline historical fiction story. Part of it's set during World War I and the other part is set post World War II. I'm not sure much else what it's about, but I imagine those timelines will probably weave together somehow, which I love in a book. So I am very excited about this one. The next one I have on my list is All My Rage. This one is a dual timeline, so it's sort of historical fiction, some present day. Part of it is set in Pakistan in the past and the rest is set in California in the present, and it's an immigrant story. I heard somebody rave about this on TikTok, which is why I picked it up. And also look at the cover, it's beautiful. Next, which I guess is sort of historical fiction, is called Bringing Down the Duke. This is a Regency sort of romance. I heard it was very silly, very fun, a little bit Bridgerton vibes, and yeah, I just put this on my list because I thought it'd be a fun read. And then the last library book I have, which isn't really historical fiction, but it's been on my TBR a bunch of times this year, is The Wishing Game. This is like a magical realism book. I think it's like magical realism or fantasy, but it looks like it's a book about books, which is something that I'm always chasing after. So I'm hoping this one is good. If you saw my fall TBR and you saw some of these books on my fall TBR, no you didn't. I didn't get to them this fall, and so they're just moving on to the next TBR. I've been on a real historical fiction kick recently, so I feel like this is the perfect time of year for historical fiction. So these two are both by Amor Towles. The first one is A Gentleman in Moscow, which is one of my mom's favorite books, and it's set in 1922 in Russia. And the next one is The Lincoln Highway, which my mom also recommended to me. She just recently read this for book club, and I actually found this in a little free library, which is awesome because I had it on my list anyway. And this one is set in 1954. Both of these I think are going to be great. Every historical fiction book I've read recently I have rated a 5 stars, so I'm really looking forward to reading some more. Next on the historical fiction is this book called The Stars Are Fire, and this one looks like this is set in 1947 on the Maine coast, and it is about a fire that breaks out. This one will be interesting because it's set in New England, and that is very familiar to me. Okay, 2 more books that I have on my physical TBR that are on my winter list are Martine Martin, which is a YA book about this young boy and some animals, I think. I don't know. My mom got this one for me at the library's little free library, and we'll see if it's good. This one and this one she also got, and I just have had them both on my TBR because I sort of wanted to read some more YA. This one I think is historical fiction, yeah, 1932, and it's about a young boy named Cal Black who is a Creek Indian, and he was sent to a boarding school for Native Americans in Oklahoma. So I think it's talking a lot about that history, which is obviously very important stuff to learn about, but it's cool when it's done in a YA like fiction setting. I feel like sometimes you even learn more that way because then you're really connected to the character and you want to know how they're feeling and what they're going through. So those are all the books I have to talk about that are on my physical TBR. A few more that I have on my radar for winter that I don't have physically. I'm just going to go down the list, so these are in no particular order. The first one is Project Hail Mary. I just read The Martian and I loved it, so I want to read another book by Andy Weir, and I've heard great things about that one. Alright, next book on my list is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have been wanting to read more V.E. Schwab because I've loved the books I've read by her already, and this one is on Kindle Unlimited, so I can test it out, see if I like it. This is a fantasy book, that's all I know about it. The next book I have on my list is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. This one came out pretty recently I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it online and it's made me want to pick it up. Like I said, I love a book about sisters. Hopefully it's as good as everybody's saying it is. The next book I have is a nonfiction book called Wintering: The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. It seems like a good nonfiction book for the winter time and for what's going on in the world right now. I'm trying to read more nonfiction. The next book on my list is The Frozen River, which is a historical fiction book set in Maine, and one of my friend's moms actually I saw her read it and I DM'd her about it and she was like, this is amazing, one of the best books I've read this year, so I'm excited to pick that one up. The next one I have on my list is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I tried to get this at the library yesterday but the copy wasn't there, so we'll see, maybe I can find this at like a used bookstore or something. I loved A Man Called Uwe. I can't remember how you say it. That one was great. So I've heard that this one is very winter vibes, so I'm excited to read that one. Okay, the last book I have on here is Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. I have read a couple Kristen Hanna books now, her most popular ones, and I've loved them. This one I have a copy of at my parents' house, but it's also on Kindle and Audible Unlimited, so I could read it in any format I want. I'm excited about that one. Lots of books on my TBR this winter, but I'm excited to get to at least some of them. I say this every season, I love reading any time of year, but it is fun to be cozy inside when it's snowing, when it's dark out at 5 p.m. and curled up with a book. So I'm really looking forward to all of these reads this winter season. Let me know what you're reading this winter, if you have any recommendations for me. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any BOOKMAS videos from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye friends!